Doubled. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
in Labatai, the heavies are doubled against light, which is
right.
pretty can be pretty dramatic. Although
Yeah, absolutely.
usually light cavalry can retreat before combat kind of a thing,
Right,
unless they
right,
kind of get pinned down or whatnot.
right.
So
So I would say it's not remotely as uneven here.
okay,
Um, yeah, I don't know. It's probably going to depend a whole lot more on just the quality of the two than it is to whether they're heavy or light, really.
okay,
I mean, obviously, it's never any fun to have a -1 if you're going into combat. On the other hand, I did have one Dutch battalion hit the earthworks at Fontenoy today, and they were their net was -3, their combat value, because it
right.
was -6 for attacking
The
the
earthworks.
earthworks. But then just to add insult to injury, the defenders are in a town or in a village behind the earthworks, and as best as I could tell, those were additive. So the defenders like at +6, so -3 to +6,
Oh my
right?
gosh, right?
And so there's a -9. So of course I roll.
A
The Dutch
zero
roll.
something.
No, no, no. Actually, that's what I was thinking. Right? The Dutch rolled a 9. The French rolled a 1.
Oh wow.
So it was +8. So the net was only -1, which is, I mean, insane, right?
Well, they
Nope.
they got lucky.
They sure did. No one in their right mind should be going up there on a -9 die roll, but oh well.
Well,
So
they are Dutch.
yeah, well, it was a little closer to home for them, you know.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
Feeling
yeah.
brave.
Well, it looks like we're all in the room.
Yep. Yep. We've got everybody here.
All right.
Everything's up.
I'm
It's
looking
uh it's
for.
the 10:20 turn.
It is the 10:20 turn, okay.
Yep.
And if I just looked real quick, we got.
Now I
I'm
think we
sorry.
had some.
We
Let's just
we got some
check.
more reinforcements, don't we?
Yeah, somebody I think well, I don't know if let's see the
I just jumped at the cat a
Austrians
little bit.
the Austrians get Peroni's command. They start off at hex N 1020.
Yeah, I think
Um,
I've got them on there. Yep.
Okay, very good.
oh, okay. Yep, yep, yep. So that's where they show up.
They bring
Um,
any beer with them?
I don't know. Did they bring any beer, David?
I don't
Should.
think
It's named
so.
Peroni.
There you go. And then you should be getting Braunschweig's wing and Heinrich's wing activated and enter the map as reinforcements. And they can enter reinforcements in N6601 and
And then 5101.
01. Yep.
Right.
So,
Oh, and then a bunch of artillery along with Heinrich.
yep.
Excellent. Well, that's fandibulous. Well, we should probably make sure all those guys are out.
Yeah, so I see a whole bunch of guns there, kind of in a stack, but I'm not sure what's what. If those are
What
those,
you mean off the north end of the board?
yeah, but they look like,
No, that's the original.
yeah, that's the original
Yeah,
stuff.
those guys haven't actually entered the board yet.
Oh wow,
Um,
yeah,
yeah. However, the interesting part is really what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these guys over here, um, because because Heinrich, no,
so
6601 Braunschweig actually shows up on a separate road, on a separate hex, which is
yeah,
insane because it looks like it's coming from the same space.
he's coming in here, and
Right,
then the
exactly.
other chap is coming in over here, right? 550.
Yes, that is the.
Yeah, so
Yes, it is
Heinrich
the
is
one.
showing up over here on this one,
Right,
and Braunschweig is, or Brunswick.
right. Oh my gosh. No, Brunchvik.
Braunschweig.
That's right.
Well,
Yeah.
we can call him Brunswick.
We can
That's
call it
very
anything
that's
we
very
want.
English of us. We
Yes,
could
we're
say
just.
Brunswick. They're
We
Brunswick.
could.
That's even more English.
You were just talking about him with somebody else. Okay, so here I am scrolling along trying to find who I'm looking for then. Okay, there's the general. And I'm going to grab him and put him there. And then we've got two commands underneath there. And there's no specification for the order. They just got to enter road column.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. I think am I getting these guys wrong? No, those are the guys that belong down the other end.
So this is
Yep.
General Lieutenant Braunschweig, as opposed to Prince Braunschweig.
Oh my goodness. I didn't realize we were being so
So
formal.
yes, it looks like Braunschweig is a wing commander, and as opposed to Prince
Yes.
Braunschweig, which is just looks like he's just a brigade commander.
Probably
Unless
a
there is a
cousin.
difference that I'm not
Probably a
seeing.
cousin. Okay, so I am getting all these guys here. Oh, just to confuse things, uh, one of the groups underneath Ponvitz, who's part of this, is a group called Winterfeld Musketeers,
Of course.
which is funny since we got a guy named Winterfeld already on the field.
Yeah. There's
Confusing.
yeah, it's welcome to the Prussian army.
I don't have enough names apparently in
Yeah.
Prussia. Okay, and then Heinrich is down this way at 5101.
Correct.
So I'm going to put him right there. And we're going to find there are two commands there.
Right. Manstein or Manstein. Manstein, yes. Or Manstein.
Okay, apparently I'm
And
lacking
Weed.
talent.
Veed.
Uh-oh, they're grenadiers, brother.
Oh. Time to
You're in
worry.
deep- You're in deep kimchi now. All right. Almost there now. Oops. Big old group there from Anhalt. It's a lot of troops.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a decent little number of stuff.
Yeah.
Looks
Holy
like
smokes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 battalions.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a bunch. Yeah.
That
All
is a
right
bunch.
then. All right. Well then, we'll be accepting surrender applications from David anytime.
Somebody who's in the chat had written, I was one of the playtesters for Fontenoy. If you look closely at the replacement officers, you will find one named Milborn. Very nice.
That is a fun little thing they do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's right there with, Ed Wimble's house, kind of a thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to put substitute officers and you've got a name that's plausibly like one of the armies that's there, although, gosh, the French army there had so many different nationalities in it, you had a lot of latitude there.
Yep.
All right, since I've been playing Fontenoy all day, I guess I'm gonna need somebody to remind me. We got what, +1 for
Yes,
for the
we got
Prussians?
+1 for Friedrich de Grosse.
All right, I guess I should actually bring him on the map at some point. I mean,
So, so I made a kind of little discovery yesterday at
uh-oh.
Hobby Lobby. I
What?
found 2 by 3 foot pieces of plastic, plexiglass,
Hmm?
Okay.
like probably about a 16th inch thick, $5.
Oh wow, that's a good deal.
Oh, that's not
Yeah.
bad at all. Yeah.
So I picked up 4 of them for our game at in Columbus.
Oh, that should be
Oh, wow.
perfect. Yeah.
No, that'll be great. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I I've actually been really wishing that I had used plexiglass because my Fontenoy maps have got some funky wrinkles right where the British cavalry were trying to get moved around, and my OCD was just not really enjoying kind of having,
There you go.
just gently put them just in place. But I also
Five
don't really
bucks
like
at
the reflection from the plexi, but whatever.
$5 at Hobby Lobby, man.
That's a pretty good deal.
That
Yeah,
is, yeah.
pretty good.
Because I think
So I
when
was
I had
looking
bought
at it.
stuff at Home Depot the last time, I took a bunch of stuff out to Tempe for Consim.
Mm.
I think the Flexi was like, I don't know, $30 or something. But then that was, of course, when the pandemic was going on and everybody and their dog wanted plexiglass to separate themselves
Oh,
from all other human beings, kind of a thing.
absolutely. I hadn't even thought of that, but of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah, I
must,
would looked at Home Depot first, and it was expensive. I was looking at $40 a sheet for something about that size, and and then Lori looked online. She goes, "Oh, we can get 2 of them for $45." And I was thinking, okay, well, I can get four for less than 100. And then I was over at Hobby Lobby and said, "Let me just check if they've got anything." And I mean, it's not real thick, but it's thick enough. I mean, it
Who
lays it
cares?
down.
yeah, you
Yeah,
don't, I don't like it too thick.
right.
I made the mistake once of getting some that was like a quarter of an inch thick, and it looked like
Mm.
my counters were, you know,
Rovering.
hovering over the
Right.
map kind of a thing, and you couldn't, from an angle, you couldn't see. Well, what hex are they in?
The parallax
Yeah,
messes you up, right?
exactly.
Especially if you're in a place with, pretty high key lighting,
Yeah.
where they're casting shadows, clear shadows underneath, and it's like, well, what am I looking at here?
Yeah, what I've been using on my table for years now is just real thin, like 3 mil, or 0.3 mil, whatever it is, plastic, and it's the same sort of thickness as if you ever buy like a poster frame.
Yeah,
That little plastic sort of
right,
glass kind. It's
right.
that, so it's really thin. So your counters are like right smack down on top of the map. So you don't have to worry about that. And then occasionally I'll get a map that's got some little bevels or so, but because my entire table is a magnetic, I can put magnets on it. I will just
Oh,
put a
wow.
couple of magnets down to kind of keep the plastic right down on top of the map. So it all works perfectly until somebody moves their tweezers over. Suddenly their tweezers get stuck on a magnet.
Oh, yeah. Hadn't thought of that. Gonna need to get some non-magnetic tweezers. We're starting to get really
Yeah,
into the
yeah,
details of
that's
the
some wooden
hobby at this
tweezers
point.
there. Yes, I'll just hand carve some.
Perfect, perfect.
Exactly.
Just use you. I understand it's very good
It
for
it is.
stringing
It is.
action. Yeah, that's
And
the
of course,
way.
when I play, the Battle of Agincourt, I will have that
Exactly. You're
ready. I
right
will
on.
I will fling the dice at my French opponent with those. So
That's it. That's only fair.
yeah. All right. Are we ready
Oh
to start
man.
rolling some dice and killing some
Yes, we
things?
are. I guess we are. I'm still trying to figure out what the heck it is I'm doing. Eventually, I will. It'll be great though when it happens.
So that was if you're ever looking for it, it was in the stained glass section.
Huh.
No
Okay.
kidding.
Yeah.
I'll be darned. All right then. Then I guess it's my turn first, just by custom for
Yep.
no
By
really good
custom.
reason. So we're gonna chuck. We
99.
whoa,
Woo woo.
whoa.
We're pushing the
So
clock forward already.
that's $4.99 for you.
There you go.
That's what David actually paid for
Yeah, for
his
his
Plexi. It's
Plexi.
$4.99.
Yeah.
Actually, it
All
was
right.
$4.99.
See, this is an homage, brother.
Yeah. All right.
All right, well that's going to be one for the good guys,
Yep.
and
I think I know who you should take.
who, me?
Yes, you. You should take the who is this chap? Kleist.
Kleist, yeah.
Yeah.
Kleist, who needs to get out of the little bottleneck
Yep,
that he's currently in. Yeah, no, that's absolutely the right thing, and thank you for pointing it out, because it's definitely the right move. So we'll figure out how much unscrambling of this space we can do. One.
And remember, we can move an echelon without paying the extra cost.
Oh,
Because
that's
we are
very nice.
we are super well trained.
Right. Now, of course, he's nowhere remotely, so I guess I should roll to put him in command, which I don't know if that's even important, but if you... Well,
Yeah,
he is,
he is.
so there you go.
Voila.
All right. Voila.
Viola.
Viola, exactly. All right, so I'd better get some guys out of the way. And that was one hex.
Yep, so that's 1, 2, 3. You can hit him in the
sure.
flank.
What the hell? 4. Let's
Yeah.
just go ahead and make him start thinking about stuff. All right, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and that should at least make things a little bit easier. Now it looks like the guy behind managed to get into March column in the last turn, but hasn't managed to get himself. Now this is where the cat and I are going to have a little bit of an issue, because I would like to see how much it's going to cost to get out of column and into line.
Oh, that depends, I guess, on
She's-
which way you're facing. But
She was, you know, a little bit grumbly about it, but not that bad, really.
so
Wow. Where
column.
do I? Okay. All right. So if I move forward, I'll just bring forward the battalion. That's obviously half.
Right.
Pretty sure that from last turn, going into line that way just cost me the 1.
Correct.
Is that right?
That is
Yeah.
correct.
Okay, so I'm at 1.5. Not that it's going to matter. 2.5, 3.5, and I guess my flat protected. So I don't need to get too worried about anything else. The walled church requires general order, but the village itself doesn't. Am I right?
Right. I mean, the village, it says
Yeah.
yeah, it costs
2
2 for line 1.
in column.
Yeah.
Right.
And you would have to make a disorder check, I guess, if you move through it, other than in road.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Right. All right. So if these guys moved forward, that would be 1. And I guess the other thing that probably is worth remembering, and David will remember this much to his chagrin, but that there is a rule that basically changing formations in non-clear terrain effectively costs you all of your movement points.
Yep.
So definitely not a place to do it. So he's at 1 right there, and 2 will put him into march column. So I'll go ahead and delete that back there and pull that off. And then we'll go ahead and put him into line there. That's now 3, and he'll move there for 4. And then the guy behind him is going to move 1, 2, and then let's go ahead and move him out of road column. That's now going to be 3, and then, too much, 4. And then we'll just bring these other guys up. 1, 2.
And a half, I guess.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and bring him up the additional bit to 2.5. Oops. There we go. Just bring everybody else up, fill in the line. Scenic jaunt across the causeway. All right, and then Mr. Kleist himself will, let's see, he's got a range of 4. I will go ahead and put him here. And, oh, how cheeky do I feel? Do I feel like just going ahead and trying it?
Yeah.
It's -2 to attack up a slope.
Oh, -2.
So
Do you get a bonus for
not,
attacking him in the flank, though?
I do. A lot of which gets, nullified by that. I don't know. Let's see. How cheeky do I
So
feel?
a slope attacker -2. So that's on the combat modifier.
Mm-hmm. There'll be a +3 for hitting him in the flank.
Right.
On the other hand, he's more likely to fail his morale check, his defender morale check, because he's going to get an extra +10 for having somebody in his flank.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, screw it. It's only electrons die today.
There you go.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go in. So I'm going to roll my attacker morale check. And full disclosure, I don't know if you saw when I flipped them over. Those guys really aren't even very good. They're okay, but they're not great. And they're shaken.
Oh, they're shaken or they're disordered?
No, they're shaken.
Oh, they're
it was
shaken.
a morale check.
Oh, okay.
So they
So they're not attacking.
yeah, there's no attack.
Okay.
Actually. And the only thing I got going for me is that he's in an awkward position because he's got me in front of him. So it's not like turning to face me is really a terribly appealing prospect either.
Right.
So I'll just that's all right. It was fun, and hey, we got to entertain the vast audience at home.
There we go. Yeah, we've got
That's me.
tons of people watching right now.
Excellent. All right, well, very good. Then I flipped over Mr. Kleist, and away we go.
All right, my turn to roll the dice.
Mm-hmm.
I also rolled a 25, so that's going to be one for the Austrians.
It is indeed.
All right. Well, let's. Let's do Vide.
Who?
Vide.
Oh, Vide.
Vide. Tiiiee. Wiederholen the.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! I did not take that much German. Okay.
All right. And I will activate.
Yeah, because we've got a Vide as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Germans don't have enough names.
Yeah.
They need more.
I will activate these 3 artillery units with it. So, all right. So first I got to roll to see if I'm in command.
Actually, I don't know that you do you?
He's got,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, of course.
yeah,
Yeah, he is
Because,
with.
he's way down there.
yeah, I
So,
was say, where is
Yeah, he's
the wing
with
leader?
Cool.
Right.
Yeah, and Cool is somewhere else. So,
and not in command.
yeah.
So, all right. Let's see. All right. So that next is firing or disorder checks. I have no disorder that I know of. Next is firing, right?
Yep.
All right. So let's see. First, let's fire this howitzer here at these guys there. One, two,
Looks like a
three, four, five.
×3. Looks like so.
Howitzer
Gonna be a
times
6. Oh,
So
well, that's
6.
only going to be 1 to 2.
2. Yeah, well, that's
On
better.
the other hand, they're already shaken, so you know what? If you can just manage to get a morale check,
No?
that is not going to get a morale check.
Nope. And fire the 6-pounder
All right.
here at
All
that
right.
4.
Did they get any benefit from being in the field works?
Not that I'm aware of.
Again, been playing Fontenoy all day. Where they got a
How does
fire
line of
bonus.
sight? How does line of sight work, guys? Because the slope. I mean, our units are closer to the slope
It
than.
does say artillery firing from behind field works +5 to fire combat dice roll.
Okay, then there you go. +5 for you.
So, but my
Uh,
question is, do you have?
nope. No, it's a fair question.
Is there a line of sight thing, or does it?
Oh, I'm sure there are line of sight rules. And blessedly, they don't come in terribly often. Just because you don't do that much distance shooting in the game. Let's take a look. Line of
Page
sight
23.
23. Indeed, it
Yeah,
is.
because I know in Labatai
Mm-hmm.
that unit would be shielded from the artillery because it is closer to the obstruction than the
Right.
firing unit is.
And that may well be the case.
Yeah.
Um, let's take a look.
So when tracing a line of sight involves hexes on different elevations, intervening terrain that are closer or equidistant to the lower hex will block the line of sight. Terrain units that are closer to the higher hex do not block the line of sight. Hexes that are the same level or higher than the higher unit are also to be considered as intervening terrain.
Yes.
All right. Yep. So I guess that would block because I think it has to go across these lines 2 and 3.
Actually, let's look in the rules for the game itself, just to make sure, or Prague itself. I mean, page 10 of the special rules. There's some mention about line of sight. 5 elevation levels 0 through 4. If an elevation contour runs through the hex, use the elevation level that encompasses the largest portion of the hex. Well, it's going to be a little tough, but that one's slightly on the lower one. Okay. Center of the hex. Right. Count the number of LOS hexes between these intersection hexes. The number is even. The elevation feature's crest is the hex side halfway between the two Holy smokes.
Well, I think what that's saying is like this is a crest along here.
Right, that makes perfect sense. Obviously, you couldn't fire from elevation 2 on one side of that to elevation 2 on the other side. That would be nonsensical. Um, and yet, if you're on one side of that crest, you should be able to fire downslope.
Right. And so
Yeah.
somebody is in chat is saying being in the earthworks, does that put you in a higher elevation?
Oh, that's interesting.
There may be something about that too.
So under field works,
It works sector, their shallow outer trenches. And benefit by only 2 units in the
doesn't say anything under field works.
apply to you. There are 2 types, light and heavy. Light fieldwork can also give up -1 CV. Fieldworks. Filters do not block line of sight, but they are affecting terrain for disorder. Fieldworks hex side also slope combines movement.
Hex sides, slope. Slopes will block line of sight unless the target is in an adjacent hex or the firing unit is on the same elevation or higher than the defender.
Is that in the special rules or was that in the?
That is, yeah, that's actually under 6.3a on page 10 of the special rules. It's the section just before the line of
Oh, line
sight
of
section
sight.
we were just reading in. It's actually at the very bottom of column 1 and then heading up to the top of column 2.
So I'm higher than the defender.
Exactly, right. And that's kind of what I'm just trying to work through. Slopes will block line of sight unless the target is in an adjacent hex, which it wouldn't be in this case, or the firing unit is on the same elevation or higher than the defender, which in this case you clearly are, because I think actually my elevation's really 1 in this case, and yours is 3. I think I'm going to argue that, according to that the fact that there's a slope there kind of doesn't matter
Okay.
because he's so much higher than I am that he can still see me past the slope. So we're at range 4, which is a ×5 multiplier.
For the 6-pounder, yeah. So it's
So
10,
it's 1 to
1.
1, and you get a +5 for being in the fieldworks.
Good work.
All right.
All right. Let's see what we can do.
That's going to be
82.
good enough for a hit.
87.
It's going to be a hit, and it's going to be a morale check. Which I'm not too worried about. But nevertheless, first blood. That is
Yes,
actually the
that
first.
is.
That
That's
is
the first
casualties,
casualty.
isn't it?
Yep.
All right. Well, there we go. We can go ahead and finish for the night. It was great talking to you guys. All right.
Now it's movement. All right. So. All right. Artillery is going to move. One's going to move there. This one. There. Want to do, yeah, let's do this one. All right, so the artillery has moved. Okay. Now my Units coming up. All right, so three. All right, so the head of the column here, he's going to 1, 2, 3, and come out a road column there, 4. All right, this next one, he's going to go 1, 2, 3, come out of road column for 4. All right, so got 1. Actually, that's that's is it
It's
for 1?
3. It's
3.
3 on the big highway on the
Right.
Kaiserstrasse.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. So he's there. That would be 1 then,
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
and he's facing that way with his rear
Yeah.
there. 2, 3, and come out of road. Or does he? What size is he? No, he does. Yeah, he comes out of road column anyways, but he doesn't have.
Oh, right. Still costs him 1.
Still costs minimum 1. Uh, let's see. And we go 1, 2, 3. Facing this way. That's 1. Be 1 and a third.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll round that up to 1.5. That's 2, 3, and then come out of road column. And last but not least, 1, 2, 3, and come out of road column.
I don't know. I'd say least. I mean, who had the idea to wear mustard colored trousers?
Well, you got to take a look at their morale and see if it's justified.
Yeah, I mean, somebody was at the state fair and just got a little excited at the corny dog stand, and now it's mustard colored trousers for everyone.
Yep, yep, that's pretty much how it works. Or there was a sale on, on mustard colored fabric.
Yeah, the colonel in charge of the regiment got a deal.
Yep.
All right, I guess it's my roll then. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And there. So, do you want finished markers on those artillery, or can we?
I think
Oh,
we
I guess-
can remember.
Yeah. All right. Boom. 34. That's
That's a tie.
It's a tie.
Roll again. 20.
Another
That's
tie.
another tie.
This time with feeling.
Oh, now it's one of
All
ours.
right, that's one for us. Okay. Uh, well, let's see. Now that we can see that there's action afoot,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any other commands that have to do any off-roading.
Okay.
So it seems like it probably makes sense for you if you've got some things you'd like to do to go ahead and get them done.
I could try. So with the with the line of sight stuff that we talked about, if
Yeah.
I have artillery that's down here and I want to shoot at something that's up here, I can see it, right?
I'm sorry. Click again where
So
you're.
artillery is down here,
Oh,
right?
right,
And
right.
then
Yeah.
the targets are up
Yeah. I
here
mean,
somewhere, right?
there to there. I mean, obviously, it's pretty optimistic to be worried about something at 12x range, but yeah. I mean, in that case, there's no issue at all.
Okay.
I think the difficulty is let me just click here. Somebody in that hex, you're not going to be able to hit from down here
Right. Well, I mean,
because not only is he higher than you, but he's behind a slope, and he's not immediately behind the slope. He's a
right.
hex behind that, and as a result, you just can't see him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I interpreted that.
Okay. All right. Well, Herr Frederick de Grosse, what do you suggest I do?
Uh, well, I don't
Is there
know. I
anything I
mean,
should do here to start moving stuff? I guess. Well, you got stuff that's coming down the road, so I need to get some of the stuff off the road.
yeah, that's fair. Although obviously, the guys on the road right now. Well, actually, wait a minute. I do have that one group of guys who are off the road way back here. Um, who are just kind of
Oh yeah, yeah. Those guys who've been
um,
doing loops.
yeah, they've been marching up and down the square. And let's see, they're from Lechtvit's uh, group, and they're part of Kleist's outfit.
Right.
So, and yet it's tiny. I mean, there's only three. Wait a minute, am I missing somebody? Oh, one of them actually made it back on the road, I think.
Yeah. There's one that's here on the road.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There,
So, so
just
yes.
yeah.
In other words, I can't wait till the end turn for those guys.
Right.
I need them to go ahead and be able to move. So yeah, it probably would make sense for us to clear the highway, uh, so they can just make some progress and not infringe upon other people's personal freedoms.
Right. Now, I think
Um,
this guy, they had been working in conjunction with these guys that were attachments that had some of these troops of
I
mine that you were
think they
bringing
were
forward.
attached to Branda's actually.
Right.
Well, yes. So that was the effect, was that they were being activated at the same time as
Right.
Branda's.
Yeah.
Yes. So really, well, in fact, really, if we get right down to it, we can move the guns as part of that too.
Yeah. Okay. Then why don't you go ahead and do
The
that?
guns are in road column now, and boy, they're not very. Oh, but they're huge. 12 pounders. They're beasts. They're good out to 6 hex range pretty well. Probably not good for. They're good for prolongery. They can't fire and prolong the same turn, but they can
Oh,
still they can prolong anyway. I'm just thinking that we might as well go ahead and make him sweat a little bit the north end of his line, since I've got
yeah.
Kleist in there giving trouble to him. So,
Yeah, I think
um,
that's a good spot for the for those guns too.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, let's see now. One. Wait a minute. For these guns, though, I think even if they're in road column, it doesn't matter. They're still at um, one movement point per hex, if memory serves.
Oh, really?
pretty sure the minute they leave a road.
Oh,
Here I am desperately looking for a.
well, yeah. So I mean, the road column, they're on the major road, so it's one for
Well, they're on the
three.
map,
But
but
yeah,
if they leave the road, that's my
if they
problem.
leave the road,
If they leave the road,
artillery clear is worth
it's
one.
it's one
Yeah.
exactly. I'm just trying to figure out where the best place is to put them. Um, One, two.
I
The other problem is
I
that if
actually
I.
rotated my earthworks with the.
Oh yeah, I noticed that, but I figured we'd remember. Um, I'm just looking here, and if I go one, two, that doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to figure out what to do. As you can probably tell, I'm desperately not clear about what it is I'm trying to accomplish. I really don't want them limbered and in front of God and everybody.
Well, he's turned his guns away from us.
Yeah, but aren't there more guns here in this earthwork right here? There's more 6 pounders and some 12 pounders up there. So that's not really what I want to do.
And there's
Well,
another howitzer there, so.
oh,
So how about this? How about this? That's one.
yeah,
That's 1 2/3,
yeah,
and that's 2 2/3. He's out of road column,
okay,
but that's fine. And we can move the infantry forward, or we can do whatever we need to do.
yeah. I can move the
All
infantry
right,
forward as a screen, and then we can bring the
sure.
guns up
That's
more
going to
next
be
turn.
1 2, and then 3 also for him. And these guns must be 10 pounders. Who's ever heard of 10 pounders? Interesting. That's
That's
going
the
to be
howitzer.
one. Oh, it is. Oh, okay. Thank you. 2. Um, Interesting. Let's just say 2 3 4. He stays in road order even though he's off road. All right. All good. Uh, and looking, not finding what I'm looking for, whatever. It's all good. All right. Um, then let's go ahead and move these guys. And this is actually part of Trescow's guys.
Right, and Trescow
Right.
is, where is he? He's over here. So just kind of get him over in this part of the universe, and
Right. 1 2 3 facing that way, and 4, and then this guy will just come along. 1 2 3 and 4, and so they will be within range. Trescow should be able to talk to them
yep,
pretty shortly. And so that's great. Mission accomplished. Those wing leaders will come running back to their own wings
Yeah.
here after a little while. And then we'll go ahead and move these. This is still just a minor road here, though.
yeah,
So that's 1 2 2.5. Let's call that 3, and then let's call that 4. And these guys aren't actually marked as being in road column, but they are.
yeah.
I
Right.
mean, they must be, otherwise they'd be in one hex. So if he moves 1, now that he's on a road, I guess he magically adopts whatever facing he wants, right?
Yeah.
1 2 3 4. Other way. Okay. All right. And then, of course, that's going to be
Yeah.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3, let's call it. And we'll go ahead and put these guys on. Oops. And then we'll put the commander a little bit more centrally located. And then flip him. And I guess strictly, I am struggling. I can't believe there's not any finished markers. Where are the finished markers? I don't see them under unit markers. Oh, finish markers. Duh. All right. I'm just going to slap finish markers down just because. There we go. All right. Job done. And I think it's my roll now.
Yep.
Brilliant. On we go. That is another move for the bad guys.
All right. What are the evil Austrians going to do? Yeah.
All right, let's see. All right, let's do. Now, moving out of a zone of control, does that, I mean, you'll get a shot, right? But other than that, does it require me to be in command or not? Or
I don't think so. No.
I know I can't move into one if I'm not in command.
Unless you are already adjacent. Well, if the unit's out of command, then no, you can't. But if the unit was in command of from its own command leader, or its own formation leader, and was only a hex away from the enemy, it could make that last move. But regardless, none of that matters to you. Moving out, I think all it is a free shot for me. I mean, obviously, you're probably going to do a line backup.
Yeah, I was going to do a line just to there.
Even more entertaining. Okay.
Or wait, do I want to do that or not? Let me let's see here. Okay, what am I at?
Look at your exciting maneuver chart.
Yeah, actually, I'm trying to think about, can you wheel backwards? Never tried it before. You might be able to. Don't know. Facing changes, multi-hex formations, facing changes, wheeling. Well, that's interesting. If it's end hexes, pay the appropriate facing change cost as listed. Right, +1, plus the MP cost for any non-clear, yeah. Interesting. Now I'm going to have to look under line backup and see if it mentions it. Because it doesn't say at all.
Well, could you contract into...
Going to Canes. Do you want anything?
Yeah, the usual.
3-finger.
Yep.
Iced tea regular, right?
Yes, not sweetened.
Line backup movement. Unit cannot use. Backup movement. Extension, contraction. Except for these conditions, all other types of movement, including facing and formation changes, may be used in the same movement segment in which backup movement. I don't think I could see any reason you couldn't do it. It would cost you one for the actual hex you move into. It would cost you another one because you are backing up, and it would cost you yet another one for doing the wheeling. And any of you who have ever been in marching band know why.
Yes, I've been in marching band.
Because it's
Yep.
unholy trying to keep a line straight whilst wheeling. So in other words, you could do that. It would cost you 3. There'd be a disorder check.
All right.
But you absolutely could. And then at least you're kind of facing in the direction. But, I mean, that may not be what you want to do, but you could.
Now, let's see. Now, I think he's automatically in command with, because here's his wing
Yeah, he's
leader,
within-
the wing leader's in
he's-
command, and he's within the 4 there. So, all right. So he's going to do that. I think I'll do that. And can I put a right? I still got 1 movement point left. Can I put a right or a hook on there?
Yeah. I mean, I guess so, sure. Don't see any reason why not.
And then I'll do my disorder check. Where's my, let's see, formation?
I am obviously missing some charts here.
Oops,
Okay.
that's not what I was trying to do.
All right, so I get my free pot shot. Musketeers at 1 hex range are ×4. I think we talked about the optional rule where instead of adding 1 to the multiplier, we were just going to go ahead and move it 1 column to the right.
And why is it moved 1 column to the right?
Oh, because it's an enfilade shot.
Oh, okay.
Because, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
on the flank.
There's more bodies stacked up there.
Right. So it would be 2 to 1.
Okay,
And let's see what we get.
fire away.
All these shaken guys. Are they going to shake so much that it actually causes the musket balls to hit? Whereas if you were aiming, it wouldn't work? We'll see. Uh-oh.
A 0-3.
Oh, jeez. Oh, here we go.
Why can't you just roll?
No. I can't
So,
just
oh,
do
here we
this.
go. It's even better. It says
Make this easy.
double the fire strength and
Oh,
re-roll.
jeez. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so that's 32.
32 to 10. That should be 3 to 1
makes it-
shifted to
that makes
4 to
it
1.
4 to 1. Okay. All right, 4 to 1. Oh, boy, That's going
74.
to be a lot. That's going to be a lot.
So at 4 to 1 op fire, it says 3DM plus 10. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, 4 to 1's crazy.
Wow.
I mean, you never get 4 to 1. That's crazy.
Wow, that's evil.
Okay. All right. So, first things first. 3, which immediately shrinks you to 1 hex.
Right.
So first things first. Mark them for 3, and then let's figure out how the SP losses would be applied, and then what does that mean? Because if you have to reduce down to 1 hex, SP losses can automatically cause a multi-hex formation to contract. That is 11.5.
Trying to figure out which. There it is.
Unit contraction will also occur automatically outside the movement segment. No, that's not it. Extensions and contractions take place. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, this hex, if it was in two hexes, it was this hex here
Right.
that got blasted. So the
Exactly. And
survivors would be in this hex
it
here.
seems
Yeah.
pretty plain that that's the only logical
Yeah.
reaction. Um,
Or are you saying I have to be over here?
well, I mean, I think it makes more sense if you're there.
Yeah, because usually, I mean, if it's like any other
Who's
game I
going to be the one?
played, if you shrink away from the event that caused the damage. So if you're in two hexes of line and this hex here is the one that gets blasted, then you would shrink down to the one away from it. You wouldn't shrink into the one that took the hits. That's just, I mean, that's I'm relying on La Bataille,
No, I mean,
and but
it
that's kind of
seems
yeah.
it seems logical. I'm struggling because
I
I
thought
feel
you
like I
have
should.
your own choice of which hex to.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find really where it says more explicitly. The rules are usually so good about that, and so I'm just struggling a little bit to find what I'm after. Line. I just am having a hard time believing that's not so. That's voluntary contraction, which is not really what this is. Um, SP losses can cause a multi-hex formation to contract. SP loss. No. Boy, I don't see it say. Um, I mean, it seems intuitive that it would be that way, but I don't see any place that says that one way or the other. Um, so if you choose to, then you could be in the hex northwest of that one. But we also need to roll the disorder check.
Yeah, there's a disorder check and there's a morale check.
Right.
And there's a morale check.
On the morale
Right.
check.
And I want to remember that too, because if you are hit with opportunity fire and you fail the disorder check, does that force you to stop your movement? Is that what my memory is telling me?
Well, my disorder wouldn't. Well, let's see. Does it matter which is going on first?
Well, the
Oh, there's-
right. So the opportunity fire is triggered by a facing or a formation change, but it's resolved after the facing or formation change is completed using the formation and target aspect most favoring the firing units, which is what we've done. So in other words, regardless, you will have completed the wheel. What I'm looking for though is what's the effect? Because I could have sworn there was something about if you're disordered in the middle of movement because of opportunity fire, then you stop the rest of your movement. And I'm just looking for that because that feels right. Here we go. If an no, that's not it. If an SP loss results from opportunity fire defense, the target unit must make a disorder check. The disorder check comes before any morale check if necessary. Yeah.
All right.
Could have
Now,
sworn.
back to the contraction part. It does
Yeah.
say it references 11.5,
It does.
which to me that would assume I could choose my hex to.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
why I'm
Okay.
kind of thinking, yeah, okay, sure,
I
yeah,
would rather. Okay, I would
yeah. I
choose.
mean, I can see why you'd rather be there. It's a little counterintuitive that it makes any sense, but sure, whatever. It's all good. I mean, the
Um,
rules do not
Okay.
mandate it, so
Let's
it's.
go
I think
on
it's
to
fair.
the.
now next I have a disorder check from the
Yep, you
fire.
got a disorder check.
Disorder check from fire. Is there any plus or minuses to this?
Mm, I'd be surprised.
Okay.
Let's just chuck the dice and we see what we get.
All right. So disorder check first. 34. That's gonna be
How are those guys?
31.
Oh, close, but no cigar. All right. I am going to have to keep on looking, though, because it's going to make me nuts if I don't figure out about whether that actually forces you to stop. Okay, and then a morale check, and because there were so many casualties, it's a morale check plus 10.
I'll check so plus 10. So I need at least 41, right? Bam.
Yep. And you got it, and then some.
And one more disorder check, right?
Yes, at the end of your movement.
For the movement.
Yep.
That's right. Yep.
For the wheel.
All right. All right.
Okay. All right.
So
And
these
you
guys
still
is-
wanted to put the hook on, I gather.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well done. Well done. Okay.
And okay, that's that guy. All right. So now let's see.
Oh dear. There's a hole in my whiskey glass.
That's terrible. I have one of those too. It's normally at the top of the glass.
Oh well, until
Yeah.
you want it to be kind of on the side a little
Yeah, yeah.
bit. Yeah. I'll be right back.
See who this guy is. All right. Jesus. All right. So this guy in column back here
Mm-hmm.
is going to go into line. This way.
So that cost 2 points, it looks like. Yeah.
I go forward one, that's 3. Now let's see, wait a minute. Get one further. I mean, so I go 1. Okay.
2, 3, 4. 4.
I'd have to go.
Which way was he facing when he started? I'm sorry, I just got back.
He's facing. I moved him back. He's right here.
So he was in column already?
Yeah, he was in column.
Oh, okay.
He was moving around the turn before. So
Okay.
I was debating whether to put him in the line now and then move one hex forward. I'd like to get into here, but I can't get that far in line.
Why can't you get that far?
Well,
Because it would cost you 2 to go into line facing that
Northeast.
vertex. Yeah, north, I guess. And then it would
four,
cost 3,
five.
4.
Well, you'd have to rapid march because it's a oblique marching.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting.
But it's fine. I mean, he can rapid march, and there's a commander right next to him. I mean, it shouldn't be that big of a deal to clean that up if he gets disordered.
true. Let's. And so I could. Is there any additional penalty for going 2 hexes rapid march? Well, never mind.
You can add as much as 2 movement points because you can add as much as 50%.
So there, right there, I will roll him to see if he's got a disorder. Boom.
Very close.
It's plus 5, so he may very well be disordered.
Could be, yes.
Survey says, yep,
Yeah,
he
it
is disordered.
Yeah, it is. what you get for listening to your enemy give you advice.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just do it. Okay.
I mean, I don't know that Stolberg is really stuck being there, is he? I mean, I guess he kind of is, unless
No, he can move.
Koenigsegg moves over a little.
Right. And Koenigsegg can move over a little
And
bit.
can
Right.
Koenigsegg move over and still be in reach of Brown? Yeah, it looks like he can move over 1 hex.
Yeah. So, all right. So he's gonna go there. And let's see. Do I want any more movement in this? No, I think that's going to be it for the moment. That should finish his move. And all right.
Very good. And whose roll was that?
I thought it was yours.
It was actually. It's your
Okay.
roll.
Here we go. 84. That's a wing
Big
activation.
action. That's a
Wing.
wing. Why don't you move?
I'm going to move Zythan.
Yeah,
Zethan.
yeah. Why don't you move Zeton?
Here we go, down here to the southern part of the universe.
Because actually, I really was going to encourage you not to move one of those commands and then have it flapping around loose, just for fear of him getting something started. I
Oh.
just figured I'd-
While you're figuring out that move, I'm going to go fill my drink.
Indeed.
Okay. All right. So,
So what is our charge range? Is it 4?
I think so, yes.
Okay. Then his is
3.
okay. That's a pretty big deal. So obviously, those are some pretty magic numbers to bear in mind.
Now, I don't understand what that means, but
Okay.
you can.
So the way charging works in this game, and it's profoundly different from La Bataille. Although
Right.
Maybe it's a little like the Regs 30.
It sounds
I'm
like the
not sure.
regs, yeah, where you move them and then you can declare charge if the guy's within 5 or
Exactly.
whatever kind of a
So,
thing.
so the effect of it is those guys could, in theory, move 11,
Okay.
right? Because they move 7, declare charges, and then they could
They
move
move
4
4.
charge hexes. But
Right.
and this is a little subtlety, and I just want to make sure you're aware of it because don't want you to get burned. But I guess to clean up some problems that were in the second edition rules, they created a construct called Special Cavalry Movement, which really deals with charge movement, and you'll find it on
Oh yeah, on the
you'll find it
on the
on the train
chart.
effects
Yeah,
chart.
I wondered what that
Exactly.
was. So that's the special cavalry movement. That's what the SCM stands for.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if you were doing pursuit, for example,
Right.
after you've vanquished your enemy, that's also a special cavalry movement. So
Okay.
that's the column you need to look at because clearly some terrain types are
Right.
completely verboten, where you can actually march through a marsh, but you can't charge through a marsh, for
Right.
example.
Okay.
So what it means effectively, though, is your charge hex range isn't 4. It's 4 special cavalry movement
Right.
points.
So if it's
So it-
clear terrain, that's great. But if you've got
4.
something funky,
Exactly.
okay,
You need
all right,
to be aware that it could either cost more, and of course, you gain benefits from every hex that you charge.
right,
So clearly, there's all the more reason to charge across clear terrain whenever one can.
right,
So then, there you're thinking, so, okay, so if I want to hit him, all things held equal, I'd want to be, 11 hexes from him to start.
right,
Then I could move 7, charge 4. And by the way, the fun part about that is, of course, he couldn't charge you without having to rapid march because his charge range is only 3. So if he moved first,
right.
the fact that you're 11 hexes away means that he's just out of your reach.
Right.
Or you're just out of his reach, as I should probably say.
Right.
So anyway, just something to think about. I guess the other thing I would think about is that really, there's only 6 hexes that you can meaningfully charge through down there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little congested there.
Exactly. The other thing is, don't be afraid of stacking.
Right.
I mean, particularly if that's what it takes to fit you into a 6 hex charge range, right?
Right.
Or into a 6 hexes wide. The other thing, of course, is a little bit like Labatai. You're almost guaranteed to be disordered after a cavalry fight.
Right.
Not absolutely guaranteed. It's just pretty likely. Which means obviously you're vulnerable. Now, this is where you've got a bit of an advantage because you've got a second line and behind your front line.
Right.
Now, he brought these guys at the very base of the pond
Right.
down for kind of exactly that purpose. What you can be sure of is there's going to be chaos and Mitsubishi Zeros and Grumman Wildcats all over the
Okay.
place.
Yes, it is.
But the guy with another line of fresh cavalry in the back to take advantage of the chaos is the guy who's in the best shape.
Okay.
So anyway, with all that said, that's just my deep thoughts.
So should I then stack up my guys? Is that what you're saying? I should have them.
Well, it's a little bit of a balance, right?
Okay.
Because on the one hand, there's not much point in having more than about 6 hexes wide.
Right.
He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I guess strictly speaking, if you kind of squeeze through the middle there,
Right.
you could bring 7 stacks in
Okay.
to hit him. So you're 1-on-1. That'd probably be better. All things held equal. You've got what, 6 on your front row right now?
Yeah.
But most of them,
I got some already stacked.
some are already stacked.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, obviously that's going to help a little bit just because it's going to raise the odds when you actually make contact.
Okay.
On the other hand, I wouldn't suggest that you should stack so much that means you don't have a second line of fresh cavalry,
Right.
to go crashing forward. So I would not want to over-rotate on that. I guess the only thing I want to be clear about is it's fundamentally different than trying to charge artillery or infantry, where all that stacking would be asking to take a bullet in your face.
Right. Okay.
So I think you might be fine the way you are now.
All right.
Just figure
And
out you're going to get 7 stacks lined up so you can
Yeah.
then bring them on through.
okay. So you can. I'm sure I will make mistakes, but we'll see. We'll start with this guy down here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I guess what, 7?
Actually, that's what I was just trying to figure out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Huh. Can you even get there?
Who, me?
No, I was just trying to figure out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So what I was saying is, here I am in my simple mind, just saying that there's the 11.
Right.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
I can't
11.
get there this turn. The closest I
that's
can get
interesting.
is
2, 4,
here.
6, 7. Oh, fascinating. All right.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Then that takes a little bit of the pressure off, I guess.
Okay. So these guys are just going to come up. I will leave my commander back, which seems to be the habit, if I can disentangle him. That guy goes there.
I'm going to move the end turn marker up 1 since that was an 8-4 on that.
Oh, thank you. I
6,
totally
7.
missed that.
All right, and he'll go here, I guess, and then this guy's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this guy's going to come up 6. And did I need to roll for a Zythan, or
Uh, strictly, you should have.
okay? Well, he's
But in practice, the only difference
yeah,
would have
he's
been is
fine.
if you'd wanted to rapid march.
Yeah,
Well, oh yeah, that's right. He's an 8, isn't he?
he is. So I think I'd need a
So,
9 is the
yeah,
only
I
thing
mean,
that would get him to
yeah,
fail.
that is the only way
Yeah.
you don't do it. So yeah, he's all good.
So okay, and so then this next group, 1, 2, 3,
Oh yeah, of course you had
six,
to even to make the
seven.
wing activation work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1, 2,
that
3,
my
4,
That's
bad.
5, 6, 7. Okay, 7, 7, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're very pretty. All right. So I will then flip the leaders. All right. That is my big exciting wing activation.
David, your roll.
All right. What do we got? Okay.
48.
One for the good guys.
It's the other way around. Another move of the end turn marker. I'll take care of that.
All right. Let's see who I want to move now. Let's do this cavalry. Hohenzollern.
Okay.
Hohenlieben.
Is he Swedish?
7th. Okay.
No, it just sounds like it.
He's not in command, but he's
Not in command.
all right.
Well, let's see what evil things he's plotting.
Well, he's probably just trying to get himself set up to be able to charge your infantry in the flank if you try advancing.
What? Shocking.
Just saying. Just saying.
Shocking. David wouldn't do that.
You might be surprised.
Oh no. That looks like what he's doing.
Okay.
I will have to attack him with my infantry instead. Bayonets versus horses.
1, 2,
Kiddoke.
4, 5, 6. 4, 5. All right. There. So this is 1, 2.
Reading an article here about a man-made block found in a limestone quarry in Lebanon. Dates to 27 BC. 64 feet long by 20 feet by 18 feet.
Wow.
Weighs an estimated 1,650 tons. Never left the quarry because they rapidly discovered they couldn't move it. Okay.
All right. So I go.
You try to figure out how to
Yeah, I'm
change him
my
into
way around.
line.
So that's 3, 4, 5.
Well, is it 4 or 5? Is there a different one for cavalry? Oh, I guess it is too.
The bottom
yeah.
of the page.
6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Oops.
So
Wrong.
not to be difficult, but he needs to roll an extended. I mean, he needs to roll a disorder check if he's going to move 7.
Yeah, he's only got a speed of 6.
Oh, sorry. Then everybody's back one because I don't.
Okay, I wondered.
I was. Sorry. I was.
You
They're
had
not.
hussars on the mind, did you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and in the middle of all that, I kept you from doing.
Oh.
You're
You
at
did it
3,
again.
I believe. You're at 3 with that guy. 4, 5,
6.
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You got fancy there at the end, did
You
you?
did. A little flourish. We weren't expecting
that?
that. That's what's
No, I did not see that.
thrown everything off.
Yeah.
All right.
That's,
Where's? Okay. So, um, let me see. 1, 2, 3.
well, don't worry. Don't worry. No matter what you did, you're way ahead of our grenadiers.
All right. So. All right.
All right. So that was David's roll.
That was David, so I
Yeah.
guess it's my roll. So here we go. 1 roll for us.
Oh, looks like
And
it's
the good
another wing.
guys vanquish the enemies. That's right, because he's got a really low number, 5, right?
Yep. Frederick is
Very good.
So the question is, what do we do now?
Yeah, well, that's probably the big question. Let's see. Who have you got out there? You've got that Harchamoy fellow,
Yeah, I've got Harchmoy over here, right? And
he's
he's got I gotta look up the
Trescow, who's got
chart.
troops that have just come up. Plus, he's got the
Kalkruth.
Calgary. What a name! And that's the guys that are just a little further south, I guess. No, they're not.
No.
Where are those guys? That would be KE?
Boop, 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 boop. Let's see. K Kalkaruth. That's KC.
KC.
KC. They're these guys here. They're the ones that are on the road. They're the ones that, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, I don't know. I mean, if you got a wing, you could
I can wing it.
activate Archimoy and just, tidy up the lines or, leave a... I don't know, those guns are so slow. So they're in march column now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it takes them 2 to limber.
And 2 to unlimber.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, either way.
Right,
So,
right.
I mean, they can only move 1 hex in the turn that they're going to deploy,
Right.
and I'm just trying to think. Does it make sense to march the guys forward a little bit, just so that the guns can be screened until they can deploy?
Yeah, I mean, don't we need to support Kleist over here? I mean,
would.
wouldn't it make sense to start moving these
all
guys
means.
over that way to try to
By
do
all
that?
means.
Okay.
Carry on.
So, I can do I guess it would be a wing activation.
Well, you could try a wing activation depending on what Archmoy's ratings are.
No, not right now. Yeah. Well, he's got a
He's got a 5.
right, but doesn't he have? I mean, we've got Schwerin over here somewhere, right? Schwerin's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So,
So he's actually part of.
yeah, he's
that
part of
detachment.
Schwerin's detachment.
That's right.
Yeah.
Totally forgot. Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, then by all means, then he's in command. He could do a wing activation, and away you go.
Okay. Well, good. Well, what I can start to do is, I guess, move up towards this
Yeah,
gap
there you
here,
go.
maybe.
There you go. Mind the gap.
Indeed. So we'll start with some of these boys of Treschau's. And so we'll go 1, 2, 3,
Look at that oblique marching. It's so
and
sexy.
4. I love it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And then does it cost extra to go down the hill? Or the slope?
Yes, it
Yes,
costs
it's a
1.
+1.
Yeah, these slopes are not gentle slopes.
Okay. So if he were to do that, then he would be rapid marching. Is that correct?
He would be rapid marching. And
Or I can just have everybody stay back one more hex.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right. He's
All
fine.
right, he's fine. And then these other guys with Kalkaruth, and I think there's only
No.
three battalions with them.
Okay. Now, while we're on the subject,
Yep. Do I want to move those guns?
I don't know why you wouldn't.
I would. My question is, I was thinking of sending them down to the end of the line, since they
That's
they
fine.
can go anywhere.
That's fine.
Yeah, I
You are
thought.
welcome to
Yeah,
activate them now or not. It's entirely up to you.
yeah, I can move them now. So the idea would be that I would turn them. So that's going to be 1,
Yes.
and then 2, 3, 4 to get them down that
Yep.
way, and then this guy would
sure.
turn 1, 2, 3, 4 to go
All
down that
good.
way. Okay,
All right. Now back to the infantry. Sorry
Yep.
for the interruption.
that's okay. Back to our regularly scheduled program.
Exactly.
All right, so then these guys can go 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll get them there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll get them there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll get him there. And then Kalkruth, yeah, he's fine where he's at. He's got a small group. And this guy needs to stay within. So with these guys, they got to be within 4, right? Of
Yes.
Treschau.
Yes.
3, 4. So if I put Treschau here, 1, 2, 3, 4.
That should work for everybody.
Right. So Treschau's
Yeah.
got. How many's he got? He's got 4. He's got 6. Where are the rest of
He's
his
got
guys?
6. The 4 are the front line, and then there's the 2 behind.
Oh, okay. That's where they're at. Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and then get the wing leader wherever he needs to be in order to stay, close enough to Schwerin, but close enough to the 2 commanding officers.
Right. So
as well.
Schwerin is swearing is down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can just move him right here, and then he'll be fine for keeping
Well, he's got
everybody.
a reach of 7 actually. Schwerin does.
I know, but this way I've got
Oh, okay.
I got
All right,
room to
all good.
maneuver. Yeah.
And he's got 6, so yeah. All right, so everybody should be good for next
Okay.
turn, and I can get my wing leaders back. So what a deal!
Yep.
All right, very good. Well done, and I think it's your roll.
Okay. I put a
Or
finish
is
marker on my artillery, so we know it's moved as
Very
well.
good. Well done. Well
Trying to
done.
be efficient.
Absolutely
42. That is a Prussian move.
more for us.
More for us indeed.
Okay. Let's see. Well, you've got those guys behind you. Those grenadiers from Saldern,
I don't
the
know.
ones who crossed the creek.
Oh, yeah. Those guys. Those guys have been
So
slowly making their way
they
back to
would-
the
they
rest of the
would-
universe.
Right, and I guess they're the ones that are part of this guy's outfit because they're part of Fouquet's.
Yes, he's part of
wing.
4Ks. Yeah, so there's those 4 battalions. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So let's check first for disorder. So this guy is stacked with the leader. So
Okay.
we can automatically... Oh, I thought he had a disorder marker on him. I guess not.
He did.
Well,
I don't know.
It's already gone.
Oh, okay. All
I'm
right.
done.
Then this guy, we need to make
we can roll for this
we got to
guy.
make a morale check for him, right?
Right.
80. He's happy.
No worries. No worries at all.
Okay.
All right. So,
So, and then we want to get him over towards, who is his leader? Fouquet is his leader. So
right,
he's
so
within
there's
range
this-
of Fouquet.
there's
Yeah, so
wing
he's in command.
leader.
And
Yeah, he should be. So then the only question is just kind of where do you want to situate him? Do you want to create an additional line? Do you want to widen the line? I mean, now that those other guys have moved off, there certainly is some space over there. But on the other hand, I'm a huge fan of having a second line.
I'm a huge fan of that too. Thank you very much. So if I were to change their facing, they're facing that way. They're going to turn. I guess that would be turning to their right. So it would cost them 2 to change in the line if they were going to do that.
Okay.
And then that would put them up here. Or they could keep marching
I was
a
gonna
little
say,
bit
you
first in
could-
march
you
column.
You could march 4 hexes and then go into line.
Yeah.
And that
So
would use
1,
up your
2,
4.
3. So 1, 2, and I think my leader is, well, Fouquet is here, but where's the rest of Fouquet's guys? That's then going to be Cursal.
It's all these guys.
Oh,
here.
okay. All right. So I think I'll turn so I can get behind them. So that's going to be 1, 2. Oh, that's going to be 2. That's going to be 3. And then, oh, now I'm facing the other way. Now it only costs me 1 to turn that way.
So that's 4.
4. Voila. All right, this guy will spend 1 to turn, 2, 3, and 4 to go there. This
All right.
guy will go, whoops, 1 and a half, and then down the
Right,
slope
that'll be
is
2.5
2 and a
down
half,
the slope, right?
3,
3.
and
Well, no, 3 would be there because you were at 2.5.
oh, okay, 3, and then 4 would get him there.
Right.
Okay, and then this chap can turn. That's 1, 2, 3, and a half gets him there.
Right.
Okay,
Makes sense.
cool.
All right. Very
All right,
good.
so we can flip Fouquet, or Saldern, I should say.
Well, yeah, just Saldern.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. David, I think it's your roll.
Okey-doke.
Big roll for David.
Wow, that's a wing
for
activation.
me. Whatever.
A wing-a-ding.
Yeah, I don't really know what it's worth, but you should celebrate the things that you can.
Let's see. Well, I don't really want the wing, so I'm just going to activate or sell up here.
Oh, yeah. Up north.
Right.
Up north. All right, then let's just see if he's in command. Nope, he's not. I think he's up 2 or something like that. 3. All right. All right. This guy is going into this guy here. It's going into line. There. This guy there is going there.
Sir, a lot of organizations have a motto. Sometimes it'll be, Rogers Raiders. This would be Duracell speed bumps.
Skirmish doesn't do anything on the slope. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. And all right, it's done.
But very good. All right, and a roll from me.
66.
66 moves our end turn marker, and it's 1 for the good guys. And boy, how we doing here? I would guess that your backline cavalry, that those dragoons that had turned to face south, really
Right.
no longer needed since Seaton's boys have showed up.
Right.
So I don't know if you want to go ahead and activate that command. Just go ahead and get
Yep,
things.
I can do that. Tidy it
tidied
up a
up.
little bit. So, let's see, what's their range? 6. Oh my gosh, that's a huge range. Or 5.
Now,
That commander's got 5, right?
You have definitely. Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Thought you were talking about the movement of 6 being huge, which tells me you've been playing bar too long.
So that guy can turn. That's 1.
That's right.
Yeah, and I don't know that he needs to do anything else. And this guy can
No,
turn.
not necessarily. No.
There's 1, and then we can move here. That's 2. So there we go.
Yeah, that seems like that kind of covers a lot of ground there.
And then I'll just kind of move these guys up. So we are a little
Sure,
bit,
why not?
a little bit closer to the action.
That's it. Everyone's just kind of itching their way forward.
Yep. All right, and then 1, 2, 3.
Who did you cover up there?
I covered up whoever the wing leader was.
Oh, the wing leader. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All right, I flipped him.
Well done. Your roll.
Here we go.
Okay.
That's another wing activation for us.
Okay. If we only had one that we cared about.
Well, let's see. I got this one down here. We can start pushing some infantry forward. We've got Fouquet, after all.
Well, half of his force has already moved, of course.
I know. But it makes me excited to think that it's a wing activation. Unless, right, didn't you say we got to take these little moments of a pleasure?
Totally.
Yeah.
Be stoked.
I mean, unless you think I should move my cavalry forward.
No, I don't see any particular reason to need to do that.
Okay. All right. Well, then maybe I will push the infantry forward a little bit. And so I have my line in line. I just have to see who's who here. All right.
Well, since
Fouquet and Kessel. Oh, so the Kessels. Yeah, Kessel is who I'm looking at here. Oh, the other
Right.
guys are the Grenadiers.
Saldern are the guys who are headed your way, but not there yet.
Right. And Fouquet is, or Kessel's got 4 battalions. Okay. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, sorry. There's 3. And this guy goes 1, 2, 3. Kind of move an echelon here. 1, 2. looks nice that way. 1, 2, 3. And that's Kersel or Kessel. Kersel. Yep. All right. So we'll move him here and then flip him. And then Fouquet we can move, I guess, right here. And then he's got everybody, and he's still within Schwerin's range. So we can flip him.
Brilliant.
Okay. Cool.
Magnifico. All right, David, I think it's your turn again to roll.
Okay. Well,
A 6-0.
oh,
Uh-oh.
That's special. The first special we've had here.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
A 0.
today.
Oh, it's a 6-0. So a free fire segment. No, yeah. Pick one command for a free fire or CC segment.
Yeah.
I don't think we've got anything that'll work.
I don't think we do. Well, except I guess my guys can fire at 2 hex range.
Oh yeah, your guys that are shaken, they can fire, couldn't they?
I mean, I guess those two can fire at each other, right?
Can they fire uphill?
I don't see any reason why not.
Okay, well,
Yeah, all right. It's not going to amount to a lot, but sure, what the hell?
Well, do you have to make an initiative roll?
I don't.
No, yeah, it doesn't say anything. No, it doesn't
Yeah,
ask
I
for
don't think
initiative.
I don't think you do
Yep.
for that one. All right, so that's going to be a whopping 4 times 2 is going to be 8. It's going to be 1 to 1.5. So, just you quake up there,
Hey,
Austrians.
you've already blown them away.
Well, to be fair, yeah, that was pretty hot rolling.
Yeah.
Let's see what we get this time. Not so hot.
No.
1 to 1.5. That ain't gonna work. All right. All right. Well, that was fun, David.
All right.
That's you.
And that's not enough to push the clock forward, is it?
No, I
It's
don't
got to
think so.
exceed a 10, right?
It's got to exceed a 10. That's right.
all right. I'm going to I'm just going to do a regular activation for Altam.
Which one is he?
He's not in command. This guy right here. Cavalry.
Oh, cavalry down south.
Right. So, but I'm just going to put this guy there. All right. And put him. Okay.
Very good.
Hmm.
Right.
I roll a big double ought.
Well, since all right.
Make army morale check.
Yeah, you got
Does-
one loss. That means you lose.
Oh no, that's so sad. Well, we'll see you again next week. We'll play something else. All right, that's a big fat nothing then.
Mm-hmm.
Would probably be a big deal under other circumstances, but other circumstances will happen later. All right, that is 1 for the good guys. Okay. You've got one more cavalry command, and you got Winterfeld's grenadiers. Am I right?
Correct. That's correct.
Why don't you go ahead and just do those?
So with my cavalry, should I move it forward or?
Well, to be honest with you, 2, 4, 6. I mean, you're already in charging range, so I don't really know.
I know,
really know
but
why.
why I should move forward or not?
there's no particular benefit to moving forward. Is my
Okay.
point.
Then
If
I
you
will.
wanted to charge him, you could charge him from where you are.
Right.
Um, it, I mean, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, I don't see anybody who couldn't hit a target with a turn. So I just don't, I
I
don't
just
see any
don't.
great
Yeah.
benefit to it. That's all.
Okay. I don't see a reason to move forward this turn or to charge this turn necessarily.
Right.
So I
Right.
will.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I will just
I mean,
flip him over.
you can flip him. Yeah.
Yep. Philippe.
All right. It's your roll.
Here we go. 45. That's a
It's going to
tie.
be a tie. Try again.
58. That pushes the
Alright.
clock forward, and that's an Austrian activation.
Kaduk.
All right. I'm going to shoot. I'm going to activate these guns here
Sure.
and these guns there, and I will activate. Who's this command right here? Let's see. I think this is Campbell right here, or the belly.
Yep. Campitelli.
Campitelli.
There's a really good cookie and sandwich shop near us called
Mm.
Campitelli's Cookies.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Descendant of General Campitelli.
No question.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm going to shoot the howitzer at the end of the line here. So I want
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
6,
7, 8, 9, 10,
10,
11.
11.
and that's so that he will be
Ooh, times 1.
times 1 plus 5.
I don't see him in Earthworks.
He's not. But also it says artillery firing down slope plus 1 to the die roll per level difference in elevation. I'm at elevation 3. You're at elevation 2.
So it's plus 5 for every.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So that's still 1 to 3, but what the hell?
That's an 80. That's
Whatever. All right. Just
now
gunpowder.
the guys in the earthworks. That'll be there at. Let's see. Who do I want to shoot at? Is it like Bataille, the La Bataille? Is there a reason to shoot at a unit with an officer on it?
I mean, there's a tiny bit of a benefit. If you roll a special result, there's a chance that there could be a leader casualty. So, I mean, all things held equal, yeah, why not?
Or I could do the one at the end. I'm going to do again the end of the line here. If I
Okay.
can't shoot the same target, I already shot him.
Well, I don't know. You've got Firestein there. Is his special ability to allow exactly that?
Well, but I
Feuerstein.
fired on them with this.
Oh,
How-
quite so. Quite
so-
so, yes.
But I can do this end of the line. Let's see. I think they're both in range here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I'm going to do this end of the line. All right.
Okay.
So that's 11. So it's times 4 for the 12 pounder and times 1 for the 6 pounder. So it's 10,
10.
1 to
So
1.
1 to 1.
And plus, he is in a plus 10
Why is plus 10?
because he's in an earthworks and because it's what.
Ah, right. Very good. Very good. Okay.
Right.
Yep. Very good. 1 to 1 plus 10.
So, where's the die? There. Yeah.
So
Almost.
76.
Oh no, that is enough. That's a hit.
That's 76. A 1M.
That's right.
Is that what I'm
It's
looking at?
even.
Okay.
Yep, that's exactly right. So an increment loss there on the Schwerin Musketeers.
Right. They are now schwering.
They're Schwerenless, and morale check for them.
Okay. Here we go. 75. They
Not
just
too
shake
worried
it
about
off.
them.
Shake
They
it
didn't like
off.
Hans anyway.
Exactly.
All right. And you were going to activate some other artillery as well?
Yeah, the other down here. Let's see, down at the other end of the line. Now, I think only the six, nine, 10, yeah, only the 12-pounder. So it'll be at times 4 still because it's 12.
Right.
That's 8, 10, 1 to 1.5, but it is plus 15 because I'm at level 4 and you're at level 2.
There you go.
And he is behind.
And the field works.
Right. So plus 1 to 1.5 plus 15. That,
That's going to be another hit.
Ding ding. Is it just a hit or a hit and a check? Or is it always a hit with it? Oh, that's an odd number.
No, it's an odd number, so it's just going to be an increment and nothing else.
So was it this guy at the end of the line?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm doing that is if he did have to make a morale check, he doesn't get the benefit of being supported.
That's exactly right.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there is definitely method to that madness.
Well, that's good. I did not realize that there was a method to the madness. I thought it was just
Oh, yeah.
all madness.
No, this does
Madness
not,
all the time.
this is method acting madness.
All right. So they have done their shooting.
Marvelous. Okay.
Pelé is not going to. I like where he is right now, so he's not going to do anything else but flip himself over. Where did he go?
Okay, so whose role is it now? I think it's yours, isn't it, David?
Could be.
Yep.
Could be.
I think it is.
Okay.
0-3.
Great.
So this is
it's an Austrian 3.
infantry command is activated, but all clear hexes cost double plus a disorder check.
No. You're looking at the wrong side.
Oh.
It's an Austrian 3.
Oh, command
Other
confusion.
player picks one of your commands which may be finished initiative required. So who hasn't already activated?
He hasn't activated his light cavalry.
Reinforcements.
He hasn't activated his reinforcements.
Well, let's pick on Mr. Peroni back there and make him prove
Yeah.
his worth before he enters the field.
There you go.
Is this one I have to roll twice?
No, I think this is an all or nothing, if I'm not mistaken.
Command confusion. Initiative.
Let's look it up, though. Just let's be sure. Command confusion. Oh no, this is the one. Yeah, this is roll twice.
Okay, it's one die twice,
One die twice.
and if I fail both, he's finished. If I fail,
That's right.
All right, so and both.
Failed once.
Failed both. Failed both. I don't even
What
have
is
to
it?
count them.
Really? Oh yeah. Oh, you're right. Okay.
4.
all right,
Oh, he
so-
is actually better than some of them.
Better than some of them, but not good enough for that die rolling.
All right, so he
All
is.
right. Well, hey, we've held him back, boys.
For the moment.
We'll be home for Christmas. Because I like you, I'm not going to sing that. All right, David, roll again.
Okay. Again.
31.
you.
That's one for us. All right, so I've got, all I've got left is a Winterfeld.
All right, which, you may or may not choose to do anything with. But, I would say do or don't. Do or do not. There is
There
no
is
try.
no try. So, let's see. And then, do you need anything that? I mean, you've just all your stuff is in road column,
Yeah,
right?
all my stuff's
so it's
in
just
road,
all
so
going to come
there's
down the
really,
pike
it
anyway.
doesn't matter. So there's really, you might as well just go ahead and
Okay.
either activate them and don't do anything, or activate them and move them up. But I mean, I guess the way my mind works about this is that those 12-pounders are just going to sit there and chew you up. But
They're
getting closer is just going to be worse. And so really, in my mind, it's just like, you know what? Stay at a long distance where he has to roll well to do any harm to you, and let the battle develop.
Yeah, I will. I'll just leave them there anyway because I could use them in any given situation. So yeah,
Exactly.
cool. All right, so I will just flip Mr. Winterfeld over. He's not getting
Very
shot off
good.
his horse today.
Not yet. That's good, man. Good
Yeah.
man.
Eventually.
And that's another one for us. And I think now we're totally out of yours, right?
Yep, we've
All right.
spent all of mine.
All right. Well, then I will just start. Good gracious. Is this that big of an outfit? I'm just looking at these guys coming down the road here. Shawning. Part of Beverin's
Oh
outfit.
yeah, Schoening. He does have a big.
Yeah, it's 8 battalions.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a okay. All right, I just wanted to make sure that I hadn't lost a leader in there somewhere, but it doesn't look like it. So okay.
He's got actually 7. 1, 2, 3,
Seven?
4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
I see 8 on the order of battle chart.
On the order of battle? I
Two,
only
two,
see.
two,
I,
and 2.
is this the one on the road there?
Yeah.
There's 8 of them there.
Huh. Yeah, my order of battle.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
If I'm looking at the same guy. Well, maybe if there's a misprint. I showed 2, 4, 6, 7 on my little chart.
Weird.
Yeah, it doesn't have the little colored 2 marker on one of them.
Okay. Are you looking at the loss chart?
No, I'm looking at from my game the Prussian order of battle that actually came in the box.
Goodness, I wasn't. I'm. Oh.
And I'm
Wow.
so- yeah. So who's the extra guy you got in there? Because there's only 7. I'm even the in-game one.
That's,
has
that's
7.
interesting because if I print the download from Battles of Region webpage,
Mm-hmm.
that order of battle shows that there's ADA Musketeers 2.
Yeah, that's correct.
AMS Musketeers 2.
That's correct.
FOR Musketeers 2.
That's the one I'm only showing 1 on my chart.
Yeah. Fascinating. And then Papa Victor Papa 2
2,
also.
yeah.
All right, so here I am looking at what I got. That's ADA 1. That's ADA 2. That's AMS 1. That's AMS 2. There's FOR 1.
And FOR 2.
FOR 2.
Huh. Yeah, it could be there's a misprint. Because if they had,
Interesting.
if you just had FR1 twice, then that we'd know what that is. Okay, I guess you got 8 battalions.
Okay. I guess there's.
Bonus.
Imagine that with all the detail in this game that sometimes there's a mistake made.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, and look at this, almost like I planned it. Where
Oh yeah, you're just
boys-
right on the tail of the
Du
other
Bois
guy. Yeah.
just smooth as silk. It's just like I wasn't banned.
There you
Marching
go.
band. There we go. All right, so we'll just move all these guys down. It's going to be a hoot. It's going to be a holler. Yes, sir.
But you've got them all on the map, and they're all heading towards. I think they're with Bevern, right? Yeah.
They
and
are.
Bevern's already down there.
They're probably already singing drinking songs. It'll be just,
Drinking songs, yes. They definitely need drinking songs.
the Germans. I mean, what do you want me to say?
I don't know.
Oh, is Bevern one of the wing leaders that's already down there?
Yep, he's one of the
Oh,
wingleaders that's
okay.
already there.
That's funny. I hadn't paid
Yeah,
any
and then I
attention.
think Braunschweig is one of the guys coming on this turn. He's got, I think, 4.
All right, I will flip him over. Job done. There was much rejoicing, and on we go. I think it's your roll.
Okay, here we go. A 0-6. Something exciting for the Austrians.
6.
Pick one command for
That's the
fire
same thing we just
combat or
did.
CC.
Oh no, it's not.
Oh, yeah, it is. That's what it says for the Austrians, right? 0-6.
Right, it is. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I don't have anybody. Well, let's see. I guess.
Well, you could do the same thing to me that I just did to you, except you've got only 2 increments that can shoot at me.
Because of the hook.
Yeah. Because I think that's where you could fire 4 increments. I think. Look at the fire chart. See what it says. It's definitely down that spine.
Oh, yeah. It's 50%. So you'd only
Right.
have 2.
So 2, and at that range, you're probably not gonna 2 times
Those
2,
guys
so
are
that's 4, so it's
Fusiliers.
1 to 3.
I don't think the Fusiliers shoot that well. They're just ×3, so you'd have 6.
No. They're 2.
Oh, no, they're ×2, yeah. So it's
I mean, it'd be a 1 to
4.
3 shot, but what the heck? You can do it or not.
Yeah, that's the only thing, unfortunately. Fortunately, I can't do it. Well, I will do it, whatever. That's it's not enough. Okay.
Hey, good enough. Eric, it's you again.
Yep, here we go. 0-9.
Eric, you're a maniac.
I know. I wanted a 9-0.
It's an
But
Austrian
that's
9.
Should be an
That's a pick
Austrian.
one command for a free movement segment only. Initiative required. Well, this could redeem what's his doodle in the back. I mean, I don't know if that's what you want to do. Thanks. Here. Actually, you might have people that you'd rather move. Honestly.
Yeah, Veed. If you're trying
Yeah,
to,
that would be.
that would be a better
That would
one
be
to do.
one that would be more interesting, perhaps.
Vide. Sorry, Vide.
He don't have much of a chance. Only a 40% chance of getting
I
activated.
think he's V'd. It's IE. You always pronounce the
Oh,
second
okay.
one in German.
So he is Veed.
When I hover over it, it's WEID.
Oh, how weird! But the counter itself says IE.
Yeah, the counter's
Oh,
printed
wow.
that way. I guess the guy, when he wrote the notes, switched it.
Yeah.
All right, so here's somebody was dyslexic when I made that.
Well, it's an easy mistake to make. It's IE on the order of battle, for what that's worth.
And it's IE on the in the scenario booklet. So
All right, I'm going to say we're going to go with
It's-
that.
I'd go with Veed.
it's Veed. It's definitely Veed.
All right, but the question is, are you going to try to move him?
or somebody else.
Yes, I think I will try and move
I think
that.
you should,
So
because that other guy in the back is like, that's nice, but so what? Hey there, here he
he
goes.
activates. All right.
Wow.
Cowabunga.
Okay. So we can go. Now let's figure out what I want to do.
Well, there is that.
Time limit's up.
Wrong game.
Oh. Don't we have the chess clock going here? Move your stuff.
Attack! Oh,
Yeah, attack.
Try that.
Yeah, playing this game, I'm like, where are my horse guns when I need them? These guns are all moving at such a glacial pace. It's like, oh. And so you can't fire and then prolong, is what you're saying.
yes.
Ah,
They can't.
that's terrible.
The units are,
If it
are
has
marked,
if it has FP, you can fire and prolong.
Oh,
which typically only for the smaller guns. Bigger guns, typically it's just P, in which case it's fire or prolong.
oh, okay. So FP means you can fire and prolong. Okay, good. So it looks
That's
like the
right.
lighter guns can do that. I'm just like, oh my
That's right.
God, these things are pathetic.
Well, when I think about the guns I saw at the Armée de la Musée in Paris, I mean, just these massive hunks of bronze sitting there, and I'm just like, I don't. I'm pretty sure they didn't have ball bearings. Pretty sure pushing these things would have been miserable.
2, 3, 4.
Oh, he's building his line.
Well, what a shame.
You knew it was going to happen.
Oh, does this guy to get to remove his disorder?
No, it's a movement segment only.
Okay. Can he move in with the gun? And how does that affect the gun?
I'm confused.
This guy here, he's disordered.
Yeah, but he's Stoltenberg's.
It's a different command.
Yeah.
Oh, no, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was thinking that was the guy. No, because that was the well. So this is the guy that. All right. One, 2. All right, so let's see. He's just going to 2, 3. One. 3.
Those are decent units. They got sharper bayonets than the other guys do.
Wow, that's good.
Or 1. And a half. 3.5. All right.
All right, back to me rolling again. Let's see what we can come up with.
This time with feeling.
A 74. That's us, and it
Move
advances
it.
the clock.
Okay. And there we go. All right. So let's see. We've got.
You've got tons of reinforcements.
Yeah, I've
So
got
you've
tons
got
of
the
reinforcements.
Cannons, you've got I think that's
Yeah, and
Brunswick.
I think I was going to bring the guns on for no reason at all. Other than, they got to come on sometime, so why not now?
Yep.
And other than they're slower than Christmas. I mean, there is that small matter.
Oh my God, but they're huge.
Oh my God, they are huge.
That's a big bunch of stuff there. 1, 2, 3, 4, a couple of howitzers, yeah. A couple of 12-pounders, yeah. Not bad.
All right. Here we go. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring the 12-pounders on. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3. Am I crazy? I'm trying to remember. Is it 1 per hex, or is it 2 per hex? I've been playing too much American Revolution, but now I'm.
The stacking, you mean?
Yeah. For.
Where would we find it?
It's going to be in the basic commands under.
So it says
stack.
clear. It says 8 per hex in clear.
No, because this is going to be road order.
Oh. Road order uses different stacking rules. See 8.1F or 10.11.
Road column can only be 1 strength point per hex. Okay. I thought I was right about that. I just wasn't 100% sure. So,
Yeah.
all right.
It's 2 in the American Revolution.
Exactly, and I think that's where I was getting confused. So, all good. Okay, and the rest of these guys can all move 4, but now that would be there. Because the other guys had already been moved. And then, here am I looking for, where are the extension markers? There it is.
You can just clone the one.
Yeah, you just clone. We've got enough of them floating around on the map.
Oh, I know. I just, all right, here we go. Yeah, right. So I think that's it for that.
Okay. I think it's David's roll.
Ready?
2-0. Oh, that's a Prussian something or other.
Hmm.
2-0. Army leader lapse.
Oh no!
The army leader may not trace his LOC or use his command rating.
All right. So then it becomes a what? +4 for the.
Yep,
Is it +4? Plus
plus
3.
3.
Okay.
Because Friedrich
All right.
is plus
Try
4.
again. +3.
All right, moves the end turn.
Deep.
It goes to me. Now, if I put one of my regular commanders on top of this artillery stack
Which one?
here,
Okay.
would I end up with, if I get the special result, would I be able, since also to?
Yeah, it depends on the wording of the special result, but yes, possibly. So if we look at free combat segment, which is probably the one you cared about there,
It'd be the free fire or whatever. Yeah, the one that.
yeah, pick one command and any independent units are stacked with a unit or leader of the command for either a fire combat or close combat segment. So actually, in that case, if you'd activated, I can't read the letters, but whoever whoever those Fusiliers are part of actually looks like that would have been good enough.
Yeah, I could have. All right. So in that case, if I get that one, I could have. Instead of firing down there, I could have fired my cannons again.
Right, absolutely. What's that? Oh, that's Compitelli. Okay, yep. So let's remember that one because that's a good point because that's a way to get the artillery in the game a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So
Well, and it does say here in the special rules on page 12, free combat segment, it says that Field Marshal Ferenstein can be chosen for this special result, but he can only affect artillery within his command range.
Right.
Oberst Gascon can be chosen for this special result, but he can only affect.
To be a command.
Right. And
So
that's
usually
what I
it
was
wouldn't
thinking.
apply to a special leader, but in this case, it specifically allows it.
I got to remember that. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even need the because I
That's
think
right.
so because he doesn't even have a. He would be automatically in command, right? Because he doesn't have a command.
Well, and
Well, he
none of them
has
require
extra traits
making
in the Army
a.
command.
Well, none of them require that
Oh,
result doesn't ask
Okay.
for
You don't-
initiative.
Yeah, you don't need to be in command in order to fire.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that was my question. Okay, so and I guess I'm trying to pick somebody
Right.
all right. So I'm going to because I was debating whether to move that commander up there, but I'm just gonna
Oh, no need though, as it turns
I'm
out.
just gonna flip him and he's done.
Okay, very good. Is it back to me?
Yep.
To you.
Alrighty.
Another
It's
move. The end
definitely
turn.
another move of the end turn marker.
We're
Alright,
slowly
and that's
getting
gonna
there.
That's going to be another one of yours, though, David, strictly. Because
Yeah.
the
Okay.
pluses.
Um,
Still got quite a few, don't you?
I got a couple here. Let's do my light cavalry down here. Let's see what we got here.
Mr. Haddock.
Mr. Haddock.
I guess make an initiative roll for him, right?
Yeah. 7. So he's not in command, but it's really going to affect anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, let's go to 1, 6, 7. Or that's not just 6. Okay, let's go there. All right. Okay. Who's next?
It's Michael.
Radio.
Oh, actually, you rolled.
No,
It's
I
my
did
turn,
just
yeah.
roll. Yeah.
Yep. It's
A 99.
Hey.
Push that marker again. And
Wow.
it's another Austrian activation. Our feeling is if we can't have the initiative, the turn should end.
I couldn't agree more.
That's right. If Frederick the Great is not feeling well, sorry, that's it. Turn's got to be over.
So I'm gonna do Argentile, whatever it is.
Well, I'm doing lousy on initiative rolls, aren't I?
Mm,
But it doesn't
yeah.
matter. He's just going to flip.
Well, there you go.
So I did get the 1 that counted.
That's true. That's true. All right, it's your turn to roll the big dice.
25.
It's going to be another activation for you.
Let's activate. Let's see. Well, Fate the Grenadiers. Okay.
All right. So over to you, Michael.
Radio. That's even good enough for us to get an activation.
That
What a deal.
is just barely.
Yeah. Well,
And a wing activation. Oh, no, we don't get it because Frederick is...
no.
He is not himself. All right.
He is someone else.
He has fallen into a ditch. This is the second time in the game that he's done this. His horse is tripped.
Well, he's got kind of a.
Or he's having a nervous breakdown.
He's got subscriptions. I think is what I'm
Wasn't
trying
he
to say.
kind of sickly in some ways?
Yeah, I think at this battle he was, from what I recall.
Was he?
He'd
Okay.
had food poisoning or something like that, and so he was...
God, didn't he
puking
talk to
his
Robert
guts
E. Lee
out.
about that being a bad idea?
That's the mistake of eating food.
Yeah, just don't eat food,
Yeah.
boys. Really, it's poor idea.
All right, here comes Prince Heinrich. Prince Heinrich. No, that's Manstein.
Well, but
Manstein.
working for the prince.
There he does. Yes, he does.
Working for the prince, and all right, and I guess I ought to bring the leader out just for giggles, like that. Job done.
There we go.
All right. And I think that was my roll, so it must be
Yep.
yours, Eric.
Here we go. A 4-0. Now what?
Four.
Oh, hidden pawns.
Oh,
Infantry command is activated, but all clear hexes cost double plus a disorder check.
be willing to bet that probably isn't going to mean a lot here.
So an infantry command is activated.
Yeah. It only amounts to anybody not using road movement.
Yeah, and I don't think at this point
So-
we've got anybody. I've activated all my people.
Right. So, I don't. So what does it do? Picks any one.
Infantry command.
This command is activated, but for any unit of the command that is not using road movement. costs are doubled. So, um, okay.
I
I
get to
mean,
pick command, huh?
I guess you pick the command, which makes perfect sense. But there's nobody you're gonna pick who
That
isn't
has
gonna be doing
not
road
yet
movement.
been activated. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I mean they're not gonna move again anyway. I think it's moot. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, the Austrian player picks any Prussian infantry command on the north or south map that's not been activated. This command is activated. But for every unit of the command that's not using road movement and is on elevations 1 through 3, all terrain
Right.
costs are um, doubled.
I think
And then
it's
you make a
moot.
disorder check. That's kind of cool, though.
No, it's totally cool.
Yeah,
It's actually a really clever way of modeling the total chaos of just whoops,
Yep, suddenly we
dark
walked
ponds.
through a bunch of puddles there.
Right. It's genius, really.
Well, do I roll again, or are you going to move one of your commands? Because you still have somebody who can come on it.
he doesn't have anybody on the map though that I can activate.
Oh,
Truth be
okay.
told, he doesn't. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Here, I'll roll again. 73, that's still enough for us. So,
Okay. All right.
but not enough to
And
push the clock forward.
no. So we'll bring guys on. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, you're really getting appreciation for just how much time it takes to bring an army to battle.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of moving parts. All right. And where's the leader?
Yeah.
Bring him on too, right? And flip. Okay.
All right, that was my roll,
then
so
I
it's over to
guess-
David. Unless
Guess
we've
while
done
I'm at it-
everything. No, he's still got some commands, right?
Yeah, he does. I was thinking about whether I wanted to move Frederick on. I'm not really sure why I care about moving Frederick on.
To
Since it
me,
kind of seems like he doesn't need to be moved on to be effective.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, really.
All right. That's David.
okay, so I'm going to. I think I got one more cavalry command down here that hasn't activated. He's activated. He's not doing anything. All right.
All right.
Back to you.
Except I think we're out of people who can move. And are you out of commands now?
I believe I am. See, that's done. That's done.
Yeah, those guys are done. Those guys are done.
That's
Those
done.
guys are done. Those guys are done.
Yep.
I think you're.
I think I'm done.
I think you are. All right. Well, if that's the case, then I think we're at the end of the turn because the commands that we have are still off board and are still waiting for permission to enter, sir.
Yep, clear off the roads there.
I know. And the thing is I can't think of any way to get them on any faster.
Well, I mean, you can't. I mean, they were making this big flanking maneuver, so,
Right.
you know.
It's, other than bringing the artillery on this turn, which did slow things down a little, but on the other hand, what's the point of having artillery if they never show up?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just that there's a lot of. I think this is why, Luthen really screwed him up, where he just decided he could flank like crazy and just crush the enemy. And, it worked before, I'll do it again.
And Napoleon, he was not. So
No, No. And actually, wait a minute. Was this Luthen? Must have been later this year.
Yeah, it was right after
It was
this. Right?
it was December.
Yeah, it's 1787. So it's after colon, it's after
No, no,
this.
no, no. 1757.
57, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're right. But it was. I'm pretty sure it was December. So it was like the end of this year, after a wild, chaotic year.
Yeah.
Well, what was the one right after this that he lost?
Colon.
Colon,
Yeah.
just east, maybe 30 miles or
Yeah.
so.
This is when he's up
Um,
against Dawn, I think. So,
Yes, Dawn was the one bringing the relief army from the siege, and Frederick left a screening force and then went east and then got in, bit off more than he could chew, and then I guess after that he withdraws up to the north, and I'm pretty sure later this year. I mean, just to give you a sense of how all over the place he was, pretty sure 1757 was the enormous victory at Rossbach, where he just absolutely crushes a French army. Or were they French?
yeah, it was the French. Yeah.
Yeah. And then comes east and then crushes the Austrians at Leuthen
Yeah.
just to close the year out. I mean, just, oh my gosh.
Oh, you did bring Frederick on, huh?
Yeah, I thought, what the hell? What difference does it make?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do have a scenario where you could start the battle at 6 a.m. before
Right.
the big flanking stuff has happened. And then you can just,
You can
You
decide
could,
how much or
yeah.
little flanking you want to do,
yeah,
right?
you could just
Absolutely.
attack all the fortifications there, where the Austrians were and try to force your way through.
If you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
That's the Schnatzenberg. Schanzenberg is
Where
the
are
hill.
you seeing?
I'm over here. I'm over here to the west. I'm
Ah.
looking at this. I'm sure the Austrians are up here on this hill.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That would be, I would think, where they would have their defense.
Yeah, in fact, really, I need to get I need to get my map. There's another series called Prussia's Glory that operates at like 500 yards to the hex. And I think I mentioned earlier that the city of Prague is actually on that map. Of course,
Oh.
obviously, as you can imagine, at 500 yards to the hex, it covers a lot more ground, even though it's only one map.
Right.
I'm going to have to look and see where did the Austrians actually originally set up, because I'm not sure where it would be. It doesn't look that heavily fortified to me.
Well, but when you
some of-
play the game, when you play the battle, you're supposed to get like 20 earthwork things that you can plunk down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
You obviously read ahead. Good for you.
yeah. So they had. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I can check, but they've got the setup here.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
and I
sure they do. On the,
yeah,
on the
and
map
it's
on
and
the-
it's the bulk of all the stuff is on the western map.
Yeah.
37, whatever.
Yeah, but I do love that they always provide you with an early start. You make the battle what you want,
Right.
kind of thing. So that's pretty cool. Well, all right, campers. Well, I would say we should roll to see who needs to do a rally. Except I think I'm the only guy with a
Yeah,
shaken
you're the only
unit
one
on
with
the
a shaken
board.
unit. Yeah,
Is that right?
to my knowledge, yeah.
All right. So I guess I will roll for my one shaken unit. Let's see what we get. That is
Three.
not going to result in a rally.
Still shaken.
Those of you scoring at home. So, all right then. Well, that was easy. Then I guess we hit the end turn button and get rid of all these flipped over units.
Okay. Boom.
And And I think we didn't have any other weird markers that we put on, so that's
Yeah,
probably
I
exactly what
took
we
the
need,
finish
right?
markers off. Yeah. So
Yeah,
Okay,
finish
cool.
line.
good.
all right. Well,
So
I
it
will hit
is.
the save button and save this
Alright.
as Prague. End of 1020.
Prague 4.
1040. All right. Well, um, well, it's fun. We're seeing a little development here.
Yeah, I'll say. I mean,
Kind of.
it's taking its time, but as you say, things are starting to happen.
Yeah.
So now we just have to kind of see where it all develops.
And what do you make out of it? I
Yeah.
was actually pleasantly surprised that I was able to get through that causeway with Kleist,
Right.
Kleist rather,
Yeah.
as cleanly as I did. I mean, for all that, obviously their defenders starting to pile up, and that's going to be a problem, but that's okay. Um, I wasn't sure was I really going to get through there quickly enough, and I think if you recall last week, I got an opportunity at at a special movement segment and then blew it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although, didn't I end up like getting it again
You
and
did.
Yeah.
succeeded?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
rolled the
I think
9-0 twice.
right,
And so you blew it on the first one, but then you got it on the second one. So,
right. So that was
yeah.
nice because I think giving the enemy too much time to think about it is probably not a good idea there because
Yeah.
it's too easy to plug that up.
Yeah. No, that was a good one. And now we'll just have to kind of see how things, as you say, develop. Um, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Just see how much more pressure you can put over there, and then obviously what goes on once Zeaton's cavalry boys
Mm-hmm.
have their fun, and I expect those activations are only going to take about an hour apiece.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to read up on the cavalry charges to see how that works.
Exactly,
Well, there's some
exactly.
fellow who'd put together a whole bunch of videos on stuff, but I think they're on Vimeo. So I
Oh,
will
okay.
have to look at it. I think he'd gone through every single one of the little special, yeah, I don't know, whatever they're called. There was a primer book or something.
Yep, yep,
Yep. So he basically
absolutely.
created a video for each primer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea, absolutely. I think I'm trying to remember who did it. Was it Mitchell Land who did or was it even Paul Borchers who did a flow chart, cavalry charge flow chart?
Hmm. I
Just,
don't know.
just just try to help make sure you remember all the if then else's. Um, but yeah, I think the thing that probably you just need to remember that's just a little strange is just that it's just a regular activation. Everybody moves. You declare who's charging. You roll for, boy, and that's the other important thing to remember. You got to roll for morale checks to charge.
Right.
So if you got enough guys going, there's a good chance somebody isn't going. So you probably ought to count on that.
Right.
Um, and then you do all the charge movement, and then you declare the attacks. Well, of course, obviously there's going to be counter charging and stuff going on, so it's going to be total freaking chaos. It's going to
I'm,
be awesome. And what's going to be really awesome is I'm going to be sitting up on the north side of the board going, "Wow, I bet that's fun."
there you go.
Well, that's marvelous. Well, thank you all very much.
All right.
Appreciate
Well, this
appreciate
was
the
a
time.
hoot. Yep.